Equity Mate.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.
Welcome to another episode of Equity Mates, a podcast that follows our journey of investing. Whether you're an absolute beginner or approaching Warren Buffett status, our aim is to help break down your barriers from beginning to dividend. My name is Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my equity buddy, Ren. How are you going?
I'm very good, Bryce. Good to be here for another episode. And we've got a special guest joining us today.
Special guest, member of the team, content producer, Darcy. Welcome.
Thanks, Bryce. Thanks, Ren. Good to be here.
Crypto correspondent.
That's it. Looking forward to this.
Yes, we've got Darcy on because we are going to be focusing a little bit on what has been going on in the world of cryptocurrency over the last couple of weeks.
There's been one story dominating every headline.
Yes.
When the project's talking about investing, you know that there's one
reached
story.
peak.
Yeah.
So we're going to be covering off what has gone on with FTX, but more importantly, what it means for us as investors, how you can approach investing in cryptocurrency, some of the things to look for and think about when it comes to exchanges and your cryptocurrency balances. And then we'll close out with a crypto-focused book bonanza. Ren's book bonanza is back.
And Darcy's going to teach us all about cold storage.
Yes, and cold storage. Yes, and we're not talking about fridges or freezers. This episode is sponsored by CoinSpot. A big thank you to the guys over at CoinSpot. They are the only Australian cryptocurrency exchange to complete an external statutory financial audit, which will make sense as we progress through this episode.
Important in a moment like this.
Very important. But as always, let's start with what we've learnt this week, crypto related or not. What have you learnt, Ren?
Crypto related?
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Or not.
Well, you go first then. I'll think.
Well, mine's crypto related. Look, I'm looking forward to this episode because it is just a reminder that regulation is important. And in instances like this, it's been surprising to me how the stories coming out of the crypto FTX debacle, it's surprising how cowboy it has been out in the wild west of cryptocurrency.
Is it surprising?
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I feel like there's been a level of these guys being so big that they had their shit sorted, but they didn't. Yeah. And I found that surprising.
I'm not. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you,
I tend to agree with Bryce. I think the second biggest exchange going down, that's just shocked me. Like, you think these people are untouchable, but now it really shows anyone can go down in crypto.
Yeah. Holy hell.
Binance next?
Yeah.
Sure, Binance.
Well, how do they go down? Same deal.
Well, no one could dump their tokens.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
What have you learnt, Das?
They say learn something new every day, and today I learned it's Ren's 30th birthday.
Okay. How's that crypto related?
It doesn't have to be crypto related. Or not. Crypto or not.
Yeah.
Yes, happy birthday, Ren. Big
Thank you.
30th. And
Big
Darcy,
30.
the good thing for us is now Ren can stop saying that he's in his 20s.
Yes, and now I'm officially
Why is that good for Das?
Because we're sick of it.
I'm the only one left in my 20s.
Yeah,
True.
okay, yep.
Truly the young buck.
The truly the young
Fuck, we need Gage back.
Yes, well, happy birthday. Big
Thank
3-0
you.
at
Thank you.
at the time of recording. Any
At the
plans?
time of recording and at the time of release.
No, you'll be older than just 30.
What time of the day were you born?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel different now
I
that
was
you
like-
can't hang your hat on the fact you're still in your 20s?
No,
Okay.
to be honest. My age is just catching up with my hairline. So, all right. Anyway, let's get back to
Yes,
investing.
what have you learned?
So, crypto related, I think there's a big conversation that is worth paying attention to around the centralization v decentralization. We've seen Vitalik come out and say, anything centralized is evil, which is ironic because Bitcoin maxis would say that Ethereum is now centralized. So anyway, I think it's going to... We've seen crypto exchanges collapse before, Mt. Gox being the probably the most notable one in people's memory. But this is going to be like the one that sparks an existential crisis in crypto. Does that matter for Bitcoin and Ethereum? Who knows? But outside of crypto, what I learned, so last week on the show, I was talking about Jumia, the African e-commerce platform, potential to become the first African super app that is down a lot.
Yeah.
Well, another potential super app company that I've dabbled in this year, I'm very bullish
This
on
guy
the
loves super apps.
I'm very bullish on the digital decolonization theme. The David Halpert we interviewed, was it maybe a year ago?
Yeah.
And he's a good interview if you want to hear about that. But this idea that more local and regional tech companies are going to unseat the Amazons and the Googles of the world. But I'm just sort of bullish on super apps in emerging parts of the world as well. C Limited, heard of them?
Yeah.
So they were up 40% after reporting.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Better than pretty good.
Takes them to only 73% down for the year.
You're kidding.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you call a company that is
You said this last week.
down 80%? And yeah, well, it was a throwback to that, but a bit
No,
different.
you said down. What do you call a
No.
company that's down 90%?
Yeah,
A company that's down,
down
80
80% and then
halved.
halved. Yeah. But no, what I was going to say this week is, what do you call a company that's down 80% and then up 40% in a week?
C Limited.
Down 73%.
Wow. That
So,
shows how much growth you need. If it falls 80%, you need to go
Oof.
up about
Oof.
10,
Hundreds.
10x?
500%?
Yeah.
Is that right? Because if you're down 80%, you need to go 5x up. Is that
Jeez.
400%, 500%?
Wow.
Maths isn't my strong
If you look at the chart for it for year to date, the 5-day chart, the 40% blip looks like Mount Everest. The year to date chart, you can barely see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't.
Holy-
it's tiny.
holy smokes.
Yeah, so if you're down 80%, you need to go up 400%.
Well, it's down, $223 was its peak a year ago.
Yeah.
At the start of the year, now it's 58. Ouch. But hey,
But
you've
hey,
been riding that roller coaster.
Who's buying at the top? No, I think these are the companies that I get excited for at when they're down 75%. I
Yes.
love catching falling knives. That's what I'm saying. All right, anyway, let's talk crypto.
let's rip into it. The story's been covered a lot, so we don't need to cover it in a huge amount of detail. I reckon we can do it in about 2 minutes or less.
I saw in the notes that you said you could cover it in 2 minutes, so do it.
All right, I'll try and cover it in 2 minutes, and you guys let me know
right.
if I've missed anything major. So here's the story of FTX in 120 seconds or less. Investors have lost billions after FTX filed for bankruptcy, headliner, and 130% of its related entities have also filed for bankruptcy. What happened? Reports came out that FTX, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, was funneling customer money from it to its second company, Alameda Research. Allegedly. It was then making incredibly bad investments using that money, allegedly. A report was leaked showing that FTX didn't have a lot of real assets. Its major asset was FTT, a token that it created. Binance, another major cryptocurrency exchange, then came out and said, we don't like this. We're going to sell all of our FTT holdings. This created panic in the market and a run on FTX as people tried to withdraw all their funds. FTX couldn't cover the withdrawals. Binance stepped in with a takeover bid for FTX, but after doing some due diligence, it was decided that they were going to withdraw. FTX then couldn't cover it all. They filed for bankruptcy. Authorities are now on the case, and Bitcoin and Ethereum have plunged. Finn.
That was only like a minute and a half.
I've got time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of sums it up.
Nice.
Anything major he missed?
I don't think so. Just, there's all sorts of developments happening. So the story changes every day, and Sam Bankman-Fried apparently is fleeing to Argentina or something.
No. So Bryce had this in the doc as well. That's not true. Like, it was the rumor.
Let's make it true.
He's still in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he wants to
in his
flee.
mansion.
Yeah, with 12 other people.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm enjoying about it now is all of these like little subplots that are coming out, and like what's been going on, who's he been living with, who's been running all these companies. His $40 million penthouse is now up for sale.
Are you going to say the headline that you're most excited about?
They're all sleeping together.
Yeah. Bryce was so excited in the office yesterday.
I love it.
But it is like earlier this year, I don't think we spoke about it on mic, but Bryce and I have been speaking about how more and more journalism is treating finance as entertainment. And like this is the story that I think is like a case in point for it. Like Fortune is writing an article about Sam Bankman-Fried's polygamous relationships. Like, what's that got to do with FTX?
It's bloody entertaining.
The finance is becoming more and more just like entertainment.
Yeah.
And Fortune is becoming the E of finance.
Yeah.
The movies and docos are going to be insane.
I know. Yeah. There was this tweet about I can't wait to see Jonah Hill playing Sam Bankman-Fried, and it's like, I say that.
Well, there was also news that they were hacked, weren't they? FTX.
Yes, so FTX said they were hacked. A little bit suspicious because, all this money came out just before the hack happened. So people were like, who took that out? How did they kind of know? But all sort of, all unconfirmed.
Yeah.
There was
dodgy.
also something that happened where people started noticing large withdrawals coming from the platform, and Sam Bankman-Fried tweeted, or FTX tweeted, that the Bahamas regulator was telling them they had to withdraw local money. But then people have come out and said that's not right, and so there's questions about like who was withdrawing that money and where it was going.
I think the Bahamian regulators themselves said they didn't say that. So, yeah,
jeez,
adds a bit more to the story.
He said, she said.
It's so
Here's a
dodgy.
question. So, out of the global financial crisis, the collapse, no one went to jail, from my understanding. Few slap on the wrist.
One person got prosecuted, but it wasn't from a major bank. It was like a tiny bank.
Few little slap on the wrist, and this went on. Will we see someone go to jail here for criminal financial misconduct because it's in that like cowboy, no regulation, authorities are going to come in and unnecessarily make a stamp?
I feel like you're both looking at me for an
Well,
answer.
I'm just putting it out there. Will we see someone go to jail?
I think yes.
I'm going to say no.
I think, maybe jail, who knows, but prosecution, I feel like in some ways crypto is an easier target to prosecute.
Yeah.
There's a lot more political goodwill to be gained, a lot more political points to be gained. If you're a state attorney general who's trying to make a political name for themselves in the United States, and it is a game of making a political name for yourself if you're a state attorney general, prosecuting and jailing Sam Bankman-Fried would be up there with, it wouldn't be as high as prosecuting and jailing Donald Trump, but like that's what Letitia James is doing in New York. She's making a name for herself with a high profile prosecution.
It'd be like prosecuting.
Someone will put their target on Bankman-Fried.
Yeah. It'd be like prosecuting Warren Buffett, because that's what he was called. The next Warren Buffett.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, watch out. Maybe there's an ETF in anyone that goes on the front cover of a Fortune magazine. Short.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Anyway,
Shamath,
let's keep moving.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yes, Elizabeth Holmes. Let's keep moving and bring it back to the investment side of things, because a lot of VCs...
Hold on. Before we get to the investment side of things, I got a question for you two. If Binance didn't dump FTT, would this have ever become a problem?
No.
I think eventually, but it clearly accelerated it. Yeah, I think it would have been found out eventually.
Yeah.
But this is also worth noting when I was doing a bit of research into this, and super ironic that in June 2022, SBF himself, Sam Bankman-Fried, had this massive expose in maybe Fortune or some article, one of those
Trash
publications,
Trash finance magazines.
publications, calling out and saying that a number of crypto exchanges are already secretly insolvent, and just calling them out and positioning himself as the hero, coming in and saving all of these and saying that, they're all bad. We're making all these bad investments, saving all these cryptos, but it's for the good of it all. And 6 months later, Mr. Insolvency.
So, I can't remember where I heard this, but a podcast I was listening to was speaking about how Alameda borrowed a whole bunch of money and then invested it in crypto ventures, like for equity, like as venture capital. And then when the collapse happened earlier this year, all of those lenders tried to call back that money, but it was illiquid because it was invested in startups. And so then that's when Bankman-Fried started transferring FTT, and then they covered those loans with FTT, and then it all cascaded from there.
Yeah.
But go back to the very fundamental of taking out loans to invest in VC. That's like dumb finance move 101.
Well, I don't know if you've seen videos or interviews with the CEO, what's her name of Alameda?
Caroline.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Super underwhelming.
Yeah, the whole we don't do risk management.
Yeah. Or one of her videos is her saying, "I can't think of any bad investment I've ever made."
Oh, really?
Anyway,
FTT.
speaking of investments, a lot of the world's biggest VCs have been caught up in this. FTX had a valuation at the start of the year of $32 billion. That is now up in smoke, as is a lot of the investments made by these super funds. Sequoia Capital, I think, had a couple of $100 million in there. That's been written down to zero.
Did you hear the story of how he got Sequoia's money as well?
No.
It was one Zoom call, and he was playing League of Legends the entire time.
What?
Yeah.
Allegedly?
No. Like, Google it. He pitched Sequoia. They were like, yes, in the meeting. Turns out he was playing League of Legends the whole time in the meeting.
What?
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
How convincing is he? Yeah.
I know, like, it's so hard to
genius?
raise money.
Yeah.
And he's raising hundreds of millions. Anyway, keep going.
Because his whole thing as well was that... Anyway, yeah. So SoftBank have been caught up in it. No surprises there. They're one of
They might be the worst
investor of all time. Paradigm and Global as well have all been caught up.
Tiger Global,
Yeah, Tiger Global.
Had a shocking.
All writing down their investments to zero. It does happen in the world of VC, but I'm sure
but you know
they
who's
weren't
had,
anticipating it to happen this way.
Speaking of shocking years, Tom Brady is having a shocking.
Oh, what happened?
Well, so he's getting divorced because he
Yeah.
decided to play another season. So that's started
So
it.
is that.
He's gone back to play another season, and his team kind of sucks. They're 5-5 now, but like he's having some of the worst stretches of his career.
They're not winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers.
Yeah. The first time in his career he's lost 3 games in a row.
Wow.
Which is crazy to see.
Says something about his career.
Yeah. And now he's lost hundreds of millions of dollars in FTX.
See, yeah.
But the story, and I don't know if this is true, is that him and Giselle's net worth is about 650 million, and they invested, or they had almost all of that tied up in FTX, which is crazy to me.
But in the
apparently,
actual fund, in the company, or they had it sitting in crypto and they now can't get it back?
No, they became like FTX investors and like ambassadors,
Yeah.
and Giselle she got like a job at FTX, didn't she?
And same with other, like Steph Curry, there are a couple of other sports stars, and I think there's some sort of lawsuit that they've now been caught up in that I saw this morning.
For spruiking FTX.
Yeah, for spruiking FTX.
Oh, okay.
So not a good year for Tom.
No. Anyway.
Have you seen the video that's been going around? You know how Larry David did the FTX commercial?
ad, yeah.
And right at the end, it's like, do you trust FTX? Larry David's like, nah. But it was all part of the bigger thing. And now it's like, everyone's like, Larry David was right. He was right. Anyway, the important part...
Hold on. But I know we keep trying to throw to an ad break, but there was... if you had shorted every advertiser from the 2022 Super Bowl, you would have made a mozza. Like FTX, Coinbase, Carvana maybe, like a whole bunch of those high-flying tech stocks.
It was the crypto bowl,
The crypto bowl, yeah.
Anyway, the important part of the episode is to actually talk about our takeaways, what we've learned and what you can do about it. And this episode is thanks to CoinSpot, who, as I said, one of the only exchanges or the only Australian cryptocurrency exchange to complete an external statutory financial audit. And we're going to go through some of the other key things to look for in an exchange straight after this ad break. All right, so key takeaways and what we've learnt from this process. Who wants to kind of kick it off?
So I think there's some clear lessons around the exchanges, and hindsight is 2020. And up to 3 weeks ago, no one was pointing at FTX. Well, sorry, the US short seller Mark Cohodes, full credit to him. He was ringing the alarm bell for months, but not a lot of people were listening. No one was really that worried about FTX. So for us to sit here and be like, this is what you should look for, this is what you should know, it's kind of bull. Like, we didn't know, like everyone else didn't know. But some of the things to look for, Bryce, you've mentioned external financial audits a couple of times.
Yeah.
Customer asset ratio. Are they holding the amount of assets 1-to-1?
Yeah.
The annoying thing is FTX said they did do that. What are they? Who are they regulated by? Who are they certified by? Not casting aspersions on the Bahamas regulatory regime, but I probably would have been more comfortable if they were regulated in Australia.
Yeah. Well, for example, CoinSpot regulated by Austrac, an recognised Australian regulator, certified member of Blockchain Australia. All of this information on the website of exchanges. So important to do some due diligence and sort of carefully consider it.
Even something in hindsight, like the fact that FTX didn't have a board, or the board was like Sam Bankman-Fried and a company lawyer or something like that. Look into it, but like just like basic oversight and corporate governance things as well.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good call. Like our board.
And if Tom Brady wants to invest, our door is open.
So there's the exchange, but then there is a way that you can, I guess, remove risk even further, and that is to take your coins off exchanges completely, and that is known as cold storage. Now, this is something that I don't do. I don't know if you do, Ren.
I don't.
But you do, Darcy.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, we might have through MetaMask. We took it off an exchange.
Is MetaMask? I'm not sure. I don't think that's
MetaMask
cold
might-
storage.
might be-
It certainly
Yeah.
still feels like it's very much online.
Yeah.
It might be warm storage. Anyway, Das, sorry. Talk us through how you take things off exchange.
And
Yeah.
what you do.
So there's a common phrase in crypto, not your keys, not your coins. And you kind of hear that around, but you think things like, you think sagas like FTX aren't going to happen to you until they do. So you kind of got to be prepared for those things. So personally, when I buy crypto on CoinSpot or another exchange, I almost straight away withdraw it. I send it to my cold storage wallet, which is an app called Nash. And that has these private keys that I get. I get a 12-word seed phrase that I have to write down and keep to myself. And only I can see that. Only I can log in. So Nash never has access to that private key, and they don't have any ownership of the crypto that I send to their platform.
And to contextualize this for people who maybe listen to Hamish and Andy, that's the 12-word phrase that they lost.
Yeah.
And now they can't access their crypto.
Yeah.
So have you written down your 12-word phrase?
I've got it in a couple of places. I'm not telling you where. But
So
yeah,
it still is in a cloud. It's not, because I've seen people with USBs.
yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
that's another option we can talk about, where you withdraw it and put it on a ledger or a USB, and that literally is, sitting beside your bed on a USB. It's not on the internet anymore. But this way it's still a form of cold storage, but it's still on a cloud. It's just pretty much unhackable for anyone other than myself unless someone gets my 12-word phrase.
Is it easy to set up? One of the reasons I didn't originally do it was because it just felt like something that I couldn't be bothered to deal with the setup process.
Yeah.
How many people who had money on FTX probably thought the
Yeah,
same?
well,
Yeah.
I've sold a lot of my crypto, as you guys know, so it's not something that I'm looking at right now, but
Paper
I'm
hands.
interested.
It's super easy. So
Right.
it takes half an hour.
And so CoinSpot, for example, integrates with Nash easily, and
Yeah,
away
correct.
you go.
So you just send your wallet address. You
okay.
send your crypto to the wallet address of your Nash account, and then it's sent there within sort of 5 minutes. It's all there. What I did first.
So anyone can send more crypto to your Nash wallet even if they don't have the
Correct.
key.
So I can accept more crypto from other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just taking it out. You need the 12-word phrase.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, and you can also lock the account. So if I was like, I'm not going to sell for 2 years, I could lock my account for 2 years and nothing could ever be sent from it.
Even if you have the 12-word phrase.
I could unlock it with a couple of,
But it means, if someone
It's just
does
like an
hack
it
it,
means if there was somehow a way that it got hacked, they couldn't do anything.
right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow. And is there a fee to it?
No, there's no fee.
Wait, how do they make money then?
That's a good question that I don't know the answer to. So on Nash, you can stake your things. So there's a couple of functions. There's the wallet function which is what I use it for, and then there's functions where you can provide liquidity and stake your assets, and that's how they make money. But I choose not to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Now, Nash is just spelt normally. Nash, N-A-S-H.
N-A-S-H.
And I assume there's alternatives as well. Like this is just one.
Yeah, it's not the only one. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I've just Googled alternatives to Nash. So with zero context, but a few other names if you want to search. Nobi, Coins Hub, Savvy, Hito Wallet, Blockport, Gemini. Isn't Gemini the big...
I thought it went
the,
under.
I think they went under.
Yeah, I thought they
don't
went
look at
under.
Gemini.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, let's keep rolling. So I guess that's how you take it off exchange. Has the FTX story motivated you to do something like that?
No. As I said, like it sounds a lot easier, so I might look at it. That's good. But like, I mean, I just have so little in there that, I mean, that's a dumb thing to say. Like I should treat it just like it is cash and it is an asset. So it has opened my eyes to the realism of it, though, I guess, which is the main thing. So that's the first thing. It's now for me being like, okay, as Darcy said, you think it might not happen to you, it could happen. So maybe it is something that I look into, but it's not like I've got 90% of my portfolio sitting.
I guess at
sitting
least
there.
you've invested in crypto what you're willing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk the walk.
Wow, Bryce has so much money he doesn't care about losing things. Must be nice.
No, has it changed yours?
Yeah, I think I'm going to set it up, and then I will bet you all the money in the world that I lose my password. I guarantee it. Can you set the words, or is it random?
No, random.
Oh, it's random.
Yeah.
I'm in so much trouble.
Oh,
12
I thought you-
rando words.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Surely you give it to other people as well.
Then they'll steal my
That
crypto.
you trust.
Never trust anyone, dude. Decentralized trust. That's the motto of crypto.
I'll
Wow.
look after them for you. Yeah.
This is a real like Hamish Andy Jack setup where Darcy just loses our QR code.
So, Darcy, it hasn't changed anything for you, I guess, because you're doing it already. Away you go.
Yeah.
You're going to think about it. Ren will probably look into it
I'll
more
probably do
seriously.
it, Yeah.
I know Alf in the team does it for some of his stuff. I don't know if he does it religiously, but he's on cold storage as well. So
I guess the other question is that's how you store it. Bitcoin and Ethereum are down.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, you know, it was down and then the US had a good inflation print and it bumps up again and then things happen so quickly. Anyway, how are you guys investing in crypto at the moment?
for me, nothing's changed. I've been DCAing every fortnight for like the last almost 12 months.
Oh, so when you say you just have nothing in crypto, it's because you lost so much money, even though you're DCAing?
No, so what happened was I actually took out, I sold most of my Bitcoin when probably about eight or 9 months ago and used that to put into the stock market.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So I still kept it invested, but just was like, I just want some more money for the stock market. Seemed like a better opportunity for me. But then I was like, I still want to have some exposure to it. I was way too overweight as well. I didn't like it. And so reallocated, but now still investing in. But I did the maths and it's 4.6% of my fortnightly investments goes towards crypto.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So I feel like that's...
Yeah,
What about you, Dars?
I like that, under 5%.
95.4% of your fortnightly investments?
I'm probably where Bryce was 9 months ago, a little
Way too
overweight.
overweight.
But honestly, this saga has made me lose a little bit of faith in crypto. Having said that, I'm still confident in like Bitcoin, Ethereum long term, because FTX itself doesn't actually have anything. You know, Bitcoin hasn't become less safe because of this FTX thing, but it's just been caught up in it. So I still am DCAing, but yeah, I think it could be a long way back.
Yeah. The fundamentals of Bitcoin and Ethereum haven't changed. That's true. But crypto relies on continued adoption and a level of trust in the system. And as much as Bitcoin maxis want to argue that FTX is a case for Bitcoin, and I hear that argument, it's again like you rely on more people being willing to accept it as a store of value for
Yeah, you need
the
people
story to
buying
play
it.
out. Yeah. It's the same with every currency. Like the Turkish lira, people have lost faith in that and people are fleeing the Turkish lira. And then, every currency, it's not just cryptocurrencies, it's assets that don't produce cash flow. Yeah.
And in the end, you need exchanges to buy Bitcoin. So we need the trust.
True. Well, there are decentralized exchanges.
True. Yeah.
What about you, Ren? Has it changed anything? How are you approaching crypto?
No, I am a naive, repetitive, automated investor when it comes to ETFs and a tiny bit of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
Just set and forget. I've automated it. That goes out of my bank account into my brokerages, centralized brokerages, and it buys, and I haven't changed.
Nice.
And I don't think I will. I'll write it all the way down.
Well, there you go. There you go. So that's the story. FTX, it's been out. We won't talk about it again. We've covered it a lot over the last sort of 10 days or so. On the dive, if you want a bit more of a deep dive.
Crypto Curious did a specific bonus episode, and Comedian the Economist did a specific bonus episode on FTX. Tracy from Crypto Curious was on the project. I was on Triple J Hack. All of that stuff is available online. We have spoken FTX to death.
Yes.
Can't wait to talk about it next week when some more trashy gossip comes out about Sam Bankman-Fried.
That's it. All right. Well, now we've got the crypto-themed book bonanza with an Economists community member. So let's get stuck in.
Okay, so Bryce, here we are, third edition of Ren's book bonanza. We've got Sam on the line. Sam, thanks for joining us today.
G'day, how are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. Thanks for playing. I just told you before we started recording here that because this is a crypto-themed episode today, the questions here are going to be all crypto-themed. So hope you've been following the FTX thing. Actually, none of the questions are about FTX, so that's not going to be helpful at all. But how do you invest in crypto?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have been following along with the FTX thing, but just what's been in the papers.
Fair enough. Well, I'm actually looking at the 3 books that I've got today. None of them are crypto related. So we'll get to them. The books that you're playing for today. The first one, Live the Life You Want with the Money That You Have, by Vince Scully. Have you read that one?
No, I haven't.
Second one, The Contrarian, about Peter Thiel. This is I rate this one. Not trying to tip your hand, but this is a good one. Have you read this one?
I haven't. I haven't read it, but yeah, it's sitting on the bookshelf at home.
Oh,
Actually.
okay. All right. Well, then you probably don't need a second copy. And then the third book, the final one from a fellow podcaster, Glenn James's "Sort Your Money Out and Get Invested." Is that
Okay, no, I haven't read that one either.
All right, great. Well, then some new books could be coming your way. The way this works is 3 questions. If you beat Bryce, you get to choose the book. If Bryce beats you, Bryce chooses the book. Let's get into it. First question. 12 months ago, the crypto market cap of all of the coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything, all together was $2.7 trillion US. What is it today? Is it A, 400 billion, B, 800 billion, C, 1.2 trillion, or D, 1.6 trillion?
B.
B? Sam's gone B. Bryce, what are you going to go?
Yeah, me too. 800 million.
No, you got to go a different one.
No.
Either way, Sam, you've nailed it. 800 billion. It's down 70% from 2.7 trillion to 800 billion. Nice, you're on the board.
We're both on the board.
Right.
Nah, Sam's on the board. All right, so this next one is themed, is Bitcoin a good hedge against inflation? Or is Bitcoin a store of value? So the US dollar has been incredibly strong this year, and Bitcoin is down against it. Not surprising. Over in Turkey, they have had a tough year. The lira is down. Turkey is seeing 80% inflation. This is a classic case study of, is Bitcoin a store of value? So I guess the question is yes or no. Sam, I'll direct it to you. Is Bitcoin up or down against the Turkish lira this year? Has Bitcoin held its value, essentially?
Oh.
How much is the lira down? Sorry?
I don't have how much the lira is down against the US
No,
dollar.
he didn't say that. He just said the inflation.
But hold on. While Sam's thinking, I can look it up. The lira is down 44% against the US dollar.
Oh, no.
No? You think Bitcoin's still
No.
down?
Yes.
Sam, you've absolutely nailed it. Bitcoin, even against a weak currency like the lira, is down 52% year to date. For context, it's down 65% year to date against the US dollar. So the takeaway is it hasn't been a store of value, even in countries where the currency's weak.
So I didn't get a chance to respond.
No, because Sam got it right. All right, look, this one, Sam, you've won your choice of book. We're playing just for pride. But you know what? I'll let Bryce answer this one first. All right, so I've taken a look at the top 100 coins. So obviously Bitcoin's number 1, Ethereum's number 2, but I've taken a look at the top 100. I'm going to name 5. You tell me which of them is the biggest.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
All right, we've got Stacks, we've got Thorchain, we've got eCash, we've got Zcash, and we've got ApeCoin.
I have never heard of any of them.
Yeah, that's the point of the question.
It's ApeCoin.
You've nailed it. ApeCoin.
Nice.
$908 million market cap for ApeCoin.
Wow.
Just puts into context how much money there still is in some of these currencies,
Unbelievable.
these assets.
Isn't it?
Yeah, well, Sam, congratulations. You've beaten Bryce. That's 2 losses in a row for him. Which book would you like to choose? Peter Thiel, the book about Peter Thiel, The Contrarian, Live the Life You Want with the Money You Have by Vince Scully, or Sort Your Money Out and Get Invested by Glenn James?
I'll go the first one you showed me. So I think it was the second one then that you listed.
Live your life.
the
Live your
money.
life.
Yeah, that one.
Nice one. All right, well, we'll get your address off air and we'll send that through to you. But thanks for playing.
Cool. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Sam.
Nice.
All right, Ren. Well, it's been a bit of a crypto-focused episode. We have a great guest coming up this Thursday, Kenneth Stanley from the United States, an AI researcher. Pretty fascinating interview, so we can't wait to release that. And then on Friday, we've got John Caulfield from Vanek to talk about investing in getting exposure to carbon credits, another pretty interesting investment opportunity. So we unpack that on Friday. Plenty coming this week, but Ren, we'll leave it there and pick it up next week. And happy birthday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.